What's up everyone, my name is Allison. For today's video, I really wanted to try out a bunch of new drugstore makeup products. It's been a hot minute since I really got excited about new drugstore makeup and really set out to go purchase something. But more recently, I've been seeing more content surrounding good drugstore makeup that's gotten me excited to try some more products out again. So I placed a new order for some new products and we are going to be trying out all of these today. So if you're interested in seeing how any of these products look on my face, then please keep watching. All right, let me zoom you in. So I'm filming right in front of my windows today to hopefully give the most even natural light, but because it's natural light and the clouds are moving in and out, I'm sorry if the lighting changes. I do already have my base down because I didn't really want to try out any new base products because I was starting to break out a little bit, but they also happen to be drugstore products as well. I'm wearing the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation mixed in with a little bit of oil, and I love how natural it looks on the skin. The dewiness does fade after a couple of hours as the oil really sinks in, but it just leaves a very natural skin-like finish that looks so natural. I can't emphasize it enough. And then the concealer that I'm using is the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop concealer. I used the shade 005 Ivory Beige for the Catrice foundation. I find that it darkens a little bit when you add a bit of the oil to it, so I ended up going up a shade lighter to kind of compensate for that. And then my shade in the concealer is Vanilla. Oh, and for brows, I'm using the e.l.f. I think it's called like the Tame and Frame. It's in eyebrow pomade, and I actually really like this stuff. It took me a little bit of getting used to because you really don't want very much product on your brush, but with the right technique, I really love how it fills in my brows. Okay, so I personally like to do my face products before the eyes, so I have two bronzers actually that I wanted to try out. And the first one is a cream bronzer from Physicians Formula. This is the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Sculpting Bronzer. It has jojoba oil in it. I don't know if you can hear that, but it like kind of pops when it locks back down, which is, I guess, kind of cool. And I've heard about this product a couple of times on YouTube, and everyone seems to think it's a pretty good formula. This is the color swatched in my hand. It has a nice natural sheen to it, but the color looks a little orange to me, so I'm a little worried about that. And then I also picked up the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronzer. I got the lightest shade, which is 01 Light. So this is a really pretty bronzer. It has this like nice clear packaging and then a really pretty kind of embossing on it, and you can see the bit of sheen that it has. It is very light. Here it is swatched on my hand. You can see the sheen that it has, but it is quite light. Here's the cream bronzer in comparison. So honestly, what I think I want to do is try out one bronzer on either side of my face. I'm sure it's gonna look kind of funny, but I want to try out both, and I feel like I won't be able to tell how they perform if I layer them on top of each other. Okay, so I typically don't like to put a stick like this right on my face directly. So first I think I'm just gonna put a little bit on my hand and then use a brush to pick up the product. This is an e.l.f. like stippling brush, so I'm just gonna kind of work it in like that and then start off with this much product. Oh, okay. Seems to be blending out quite nicely. I need to remember not to put any on the other side of my face, but I think it looks quite nice on camera so far. Let me just put a bit on the forehead area. Put a bit on the nose. Okay, so I do really like how that looks on the skin. It looks really natural, and I don't feel like the color is too orange. It's definitely on the warmer side, but I think it in more of like a natural tanned way. I do think that applying it on the back of my hand and then picking up the product with a brush really helped it to apply really smoothly and in a thin layer. So I do like that method. But yeah, I think it's really great. It gave a really nice kind of bronzy glow to my cheek. Okay, now I'm kind of worried about how the other bronzer is gonna look on. For a bronzer like this, I tend to like to apply it with kind of like a bigger fluffy brush like this that's kind of in this shape. So let me just grab some of the product, that off a bit. Oh, okay. Does not seem too light. Okay. Wow, bronzer shades are always so deceiving. I feel like when you just swatch it on your hand, it looks like so light, but just a little bit of pigment is enough to give your face definition. Take a little bit more for forehead. Okay, that looks really pretty as well. Okay, I'm not sure if it's translating as much on camera, but in the mirror I think it actually looks really pretty. It definitely is a little bit more on the subtle side since the shade is quite light, but you can definitely tell that the powder isn't completely flat. It's definitely not quite as warm as this bronzer, but it does add a bit of like a nice, I don't know, natural kind of glow. All right, wow. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to like both sides so much. Let me try to show you up close so you can see the differences in like texture and color. This side is definitely warmer. It performs like a cream and it looks like a cream on the skin. So I personally do prefer this kind of finish on my skin. I just feel like it looks the most skin-like and natural. And I do actually quite like the color of this because I feel like it just looks more golden and makes me look actually more tanned. And this side is really pretty too. It's a bit more neutral leaning, and I feel like on the days where I just don't really feel like wearing creams or like I don't want something to move around on my face, then this would be a great option. For blush, I am so excited to try the Physicians Formula. This is also from the same Organic Wear collection, and this is their Dewy Blush Elixir. Again, I've also heard about this blush here and there on YouTube, and everyone seems to think that it's a really great liquid blush from the drugstore. I know Physicians Formula is quite expensive for drugstore makeup, but honestly I feel like the price of makeup just keeps going up nowadays, and I was able to order these on clearance from Walmart.com and they were only like $6 each. I think both of these were discounted really heavily. I decided to pick mine up in the shade Crushed Berries, which is I think one of the more darker shades. So I actually haven't seen people use this in any YouTube videos, but I saw a swatch online and it didn't look too dark. So I really wanted to pick up this shade because I just have so many peachy pink blushes, especially liquid ones, so I thought this would be a good shade to add to my collection. So I did swatch it the other day and it looked like a really pretty color. Definitely don't need a lot of product. Let me just swatch it on the back of my hand for you. So this was just like one little half pump and you can see it's like quite pigmented, but wow, is this not the most beautiful color? I would describe this as kind of like a rosy color with like a hint of mauve to it. It's really pretty. So I think I'm just gonna do the same technique that I did with the bronzer and pick some up with the brush because I definitely don't need this much pigment. I'm gonna use this IT Cosmetics Airbrush Flawless Complexion Brush. Let's see. Ooh, this is such a pretty color. I'm especially liking how the colors kind of blended together on this cheek. But overall, I just really like this blush. I'm just gonna kind of take another brush and go over the edges a little bit. It seemed to apply very nicely. I'm not sure, I can't tell if it kind of skipped over where that powder bronzer was. So maybe not the best combination, but it definitely applied very smoothly where the other cream was. It definitely shears out really nicely. I heard that these blushes were exceptionally dewy, and they definitely are quite dewy, but I don't feel like they're too much. This side with both of the creams feels a little bit more tacky, but not very much so. And then this side already feels kind of set. All right, that is it for the face. Very happy with all of those products. And now we're just gonna do a little bit on the eyes. I didn't pick up any eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore, but I did place an order for the ColourPop Mulan palette since they restocked it finally. And I was debating whether or not I should get this palette because it's like a pretty neutral palette. However, after seeing it in person and just like seeing this packaging, I think it's just so beautiful and it really does make me want to use it. I really actually do like that this palette has some more cooler toned browns, because I feel like all the palettes that I've gotten recently have very orangey, warm toned browns, and it's kind of hard if I just like want a very neutral basic look. So I actually do really appreciate like these browns right here. So first off, I think I'm just gonna go in with Imperial. It's like a really nice light beigey grayish brown color. And then I'm gonna pick up a little bit of Honor right here. The shape that I ended up with is kind of weird. I don't know, try to ignore that. But I did want to try to use a blue eyeliner, and this isn't a drugstore product, but I did get this eyeliner on like super sale. I think there was a price glitch online, so I was able to get this Makeup Forever pencil in the shade Lagoon for $10, which is more than half off. So kind of wanted to try out like a statement eyeliner thing again. I feel like that was really popular a couple of years back. Ooh. Did you guys see that? Oh my god, let me zoom you in. This pencil is so smooth and pigmented, holy crap. I'm like barely touching my eyelid. Not entirely even, but neither are my eyelids. So let's just look at this eye. I feel like this eye is really pretty. Okay, now that the eyeliner is done, we gotta go into mascara. And I've been intrigued to try this relatively new mascara from L'Oreal. It's the Bambi Eye Mascara. I have short, straight Asian lashes, so of course I got the waterproof formula. And I did try this mascara yesterday just because I wanted to get some initial thoughts on it before I filmed a video. I finally cleaned my eyelash curler. Please tell me, how often do you guys actually clean your eyelash curler? Because even though I'm okay about cleaning my makeup brushes, I always forget to clean these things. All right, eyelashes are curled. It took off a little bit of the eyeliner, so I might have to go back in. And then let's put on the mascara. So this is what the wand looks like. It's a plastic bristled wand, which isn't really my favorite. What I found yesterday is that the flatter side seemed to be a bit better at lengthening. I think I'll go in with that side first. So similar to a lot of plastic bristled wands, this one seems to be really good at separating, but it doesn't really give that much length or volume to the lashes, but it can be built up. Okay, I don't know if you guys can tell, but I don't really like how it's making my lashes look. I'm noticing that the ends, the tips of my lashes are getting kind of clumpy, which doesn't make the lashes look nice and fluttery. I prefer a lot more volume for most of the lash, and then the ends to be more tapered so it gives a pretty look. But I feel like these almost make my lashes look plasticky. You can kind of go back in with like your fingers and kind of take off some of the product from the tips of your lashes, and I feel like it looks better. This is also only the second time I'm using the mascara, and I feel like it's not picking up a whole lot of product on the wand. I don't know what it is with this eye, but I do feel like the mascara applies better to it for some reason. I feel like this was also the case yesterday. I don't really like this wand for the lower lashes. I find that it's really hard to get to my teeny tiny lower lashes because this wand is pretty fat and the bristles are really short, so you have to really get close to your lashes. Okay, and let me try to build up the mascara a little bit more. Okay, here's how the lashes ended up turning out. I do think it did a good job of transforming my lashes. I'm just not sure if it's like my favorite mascara. Here's a close-up. I feel like once it was built up, you do get a good amount of volume. But yeah, not bad. Let me know what you guys think of the mascara. All right, now the eyes are finished and let's go ahead and do the lip products. So I did get the lipstick from the ColourPop Mulan collection. It's a very pretty pinky nude color. And I have to say that they really just did such a good job with this packaging. This lipstick bullet feels like quite heavy, and I mean, dare I say, it feels a lot more expensive than any of the like Fenty Beauty lip products that I've tried. And then from my Walmart haul, I picked up 2 of the Revlon Glass Shine lipsticks. I've heard good things about these lipsticks. They're definitely up my alley. I've been really into sheer glossy lipsticks. One is in Nude Illuminator and the other one is in Glossed Up Rose. I'm so excited for these Revlon lip colors. I did try it the other day and I was so impressed with the colors and the formula. So here are the swatches of the lip colors. This is the ColourPop lipstick. This is the Revlon Glass Shine lipstick in Glossed Up Rose. And this one is in Nude Illuminator. Nude Illuminator is more on the peachy side, whereas Glossed Up Rose is a bit more of a cool toned pink. And normally Nude Illuminator would be my jam. I'm all about the more peachy pink colors that are a bit more brown or peach based. But lately I've been really into colors like Glossed Up Rose, especially in more of a sheer formula. I feel like they become a lot more wearable and they actually are quite flattering on my skin tone. So I mean, while we're here, I guess we'll just put all of them on my lips. So first up, I'm going to put on the ColourPop lipstick in Hua Mulan. So here's the ColourPop lipstick on. It's a really pretty peachy nude color. And then next I'll put on Nude Illuminator. I will say that this formula is extremely creamy and emollient, and I don't know if this is something that you would want to leave in the car or in your bag in the summer because I feel like it just might melt out of the component. This is Nude Illuminator and it's like the perfect MLBB color to just throw on for any occasion. These just feel so thin and moisturizing on the lips, so it's really nice. And then lastly, we're gonna go in with the Glossed Up Rose, but first I'm just gonna put on a little bit of lip liner just because I kind of want to see how it looks paired with one and if it helps it wear at all. This is the ColourPop lip liner in the shade BFF. Okay, and here is Glossed Up Rose on the lips, and it's not too different from Nude Illuminator, but I think it just adds a little bit more color and brightness to my face. Alright, so that completes this look. That's all the new drugstore makeup products that I've gotten. I'm actually really happy with how my makeup looks, and I think a lot of these are products that I would keep using on a daily basis. I love makeup so much and I kind of like to collect it, and so a lot of the times I do kind of end up keeping and using the more high-end products that might be packaged a little bit more nicely, but there's just something about a good drugstore product that performs just as well, if not better, than a high-end product. So this was really fun for me. Let's just do a quick roundup of the products I used. So to start off, there were 2 different bronzers that I hauled, one of them being a cream bronzer from Physicians Formula, and the other one was kind of like a luminous powder bronzer from L'Oreal, and I actually ended up really liking both. The Physicians Formula one is really nice. It applied really easily and I ended up really liking how the color looked on my skin. The finish is absolutely gorgeous and it makes me look really tanned and glowy, and I really like this product. I honestly haven't used my Fenty cream bronzers that much since I've gotten them, but I could actually feel myself reaching for this over those. There are definitely days where I'm not really in the mood to wear a bunch of cream products on my face, so I was intrigued to pick up the L'Oreal Lumi bronzer. I'm always curious about powder bronzers that have a bit of a sheen to them, and I think this is a really fantastic one. There isn't any visible shimmer or glitter throughout the product, which is exactly what I want from a product like this. It just adds a little bit more dimension to a powder product and looks really pretty on the skin. I feel like as we head into the fall and I'm not really looking for products that are quite as warm as maybe the Physicians Formula bronzer, this is something I can see myself reaching for a lot. For blush, I finally tried out the Physicians Formula Dewy Elixir blush in the shade Crushed Berries, and I'm very happy that I got this blush, especially in this shade. I just have so many peach blushes in my collection already, so I think this one is different enough for me to reach for it specifically. I think it gave a really pretty rosy, almost sunburnt-esque look to the cheeks. That's really great for the summer, but I think will also transition well into the fall. I'm gonna have to play with it a little bit more just to see how it layers on top of powders and if I should avoid doing that with this, but I don't think it's a huge issue and I think it looks fine on both of my cheeks today. It is quite a dewy and pigmented product that I feel like compares really closely to the Flower Beauty blush bombs, which I absolutely love, and the M Cosmetics serum blushes. I would honestly say this is a pretty good dupe for the M Cosmetics serum blushes. I think that they both give a very similar effect to the cheeks. The Flower Beauty blush bombs as well look really similar, but I do feel like those might be a little bit more sheer than this. We briefly dipped into the Mulan ColourPop eyeshadow palette just to use a couple of these browns, and I really like the shades of the brown. I felt like I was experiencing a little bit of patchiness when I was trying to kind of wing out the darker shade, but that just could be me not priming my eyelids well and not using the right brushes. For the eyeliner, I know this one isn't a drugstore product, but I think it is so pretty on the eyes. I'm not sure if it'll be able to pick up on camera, but the color has a really pretty metallic finish to it, so it does have a little bit of dimension, and I think the color is just so rich and pretty. The color applied so smoothly and pigmented, and it was honestly just a real pleasure to use. For mascara, I used the L'Oreal Bambi Eye Mascara, and I do think this mascara did a pretty good job at lengthening and volumizing my lashes, which is what I want. But there's just something about it that I don't love how my lashes look as much as when I use the Lash Paradise or some of the Asian mascara that I've tried. For lips, I shared the ColourPop Mulan lipstick as well as the Revlon Glass Shine ones, and I do like the color and the bullet on this ColourPop lipstick a lot, but I haven't really worn it, so I don't have too much to say about it. I am super excited about these Revlon Glass Shine lipsticks, however. These just make me so excited, and I can actually see myself reaching for these on a daily basis. I'm not sure how they're going to wear throughout the day, especially since they're so slippy and emollient, but it makes them so comfortable to wear, and I feel like they look really nice on the lips. They look nice and smooth and glossy on the lips, and I really like these two colors that I got. I also just really like the packaging on these bullets. I just feel like they're so classy and pretty with the black kind of lacquer and the gold tip. So yeah, that wraps it up. Thank you for hanging out and playing with some drugstore makeup with me. Let me know if you have any drugstore gems that you've discovered recently, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!